I can't stand these asinine arguments that people get into. You don't say that about the Jews. You don't say that about the Indians. You don't say that about the Chinese who were put in internment camps here in America. You don't say that about the Japanese. You don't say that about nobody else who was given reparations from America for what they did. But when it comes to our people, there's always this, well, let me just see. I don't know. Oh, you guys are lazy. You want to hand out. Stop insulting hardworking, intelligent people. It's not a damn handout. It is a repair for damage done.
Welcome to a very special episode of Nah, Not All Hood. Rizza Islam, he's no stranger to controversy. His outspoken views on vaccines, COVID-19, the LGBTQ plus community, and other hot-button topics has put him on the list as one of the most dangerous voices by the U.S. government. And he's had his various social media accounts shut down multiple times. However, the Nation of Islam's focus is on the upliftment of black people. And I wanted to sit with Rizza and discuss what black unity looks like and how we achieve it. We discuss love and wholeness, the self-responsibility and self-accountability of our black communities, and Rizza even makes a case that makes me rethink my dislike of the term black excellence. Buckle up, this one is a ride. I want to start with something revolutionary in a sense. Because obviously, we follow each other on social media. First, I just want to say, there's a lot of awful things about social media. There's also a lot of good things about social media. And I think you're being here and this is the first time we've met in person.
Absolutely.
But we've been communicating through social media. And that's, there are things about social media that I
That's
dig.
an upside for sure.
So I've obviously been following you and watched you over the years. So I've never seen you talk about this, and I've never started a podcast with this. So in one sense, this would be somewhat revolutionary. Let's start out. What's good in the world?
Beautiful
what's
question.
good in
that.
America?
Absolutely. I love that. I say what's good is the innocence of children before indoctrination. I would say the fact that love still exists, that good families still exist, that there are men and women who work every day just to get by, to make it from their house to the job, back home to their children, to make sure the community is safe. People still exist like that. That there are women who love nurturing the children, that there are men who love protecting the children, that there are families who quite literally work to maintain their dignity and integrity. That exists. And I'm talking about black, white, and all in between. There are people who sincerely love the fact that they strive hard every day not to smack somebody, who really fight against the temptation to do something wrong, even though this world has seemingly benefited a lot of people for doing something that is very wrong, where they entice people or even bribe people to do things that are wrong, but they fight to do what is right. So I would say at least that right now, that spirit of goodness, love, and sincerity has not died, even though they promote that, negative all day. No, there's a lot of beauty in the world, brother.
I needed that.
Absolutely. I think we all did.
Yeah. Because we talked the other day, I was like, I'm totally a pessimistic optimist. And being in social media, and then we're in election year, it's so easy for the dark, just to kind of override and just the negative energy. So I think I needed that, just even that kind of reminder. Love. Yeah. Love abounds.
Oh, yes.
Right?
That's a fact.
Speaking of, because I don't necessarily hear you talk about love much, but you're having a ceremony.
Oh, yes.
Soon.
Oh, yes. Yeah, your brother's off the market, y'all. I know a lot of people were questioning, but of course, many of them I would say they would educationally assume that what a brother, kind of looks like he's balanced. He's not out here chasing after nobody. No, your brother has found his queen, for sure. And I can say that with sheer confidence after years of trial and error, or trial and education, trial and experience, whatever you want to call it. Some of you are like, hell no, I was terrible. No, there is experience, education. If you are wise about taking the good and learning and making yourself better, I would say I'm definitely ready for that step, for sure. And I'm very confident in it, brother. I'm comfortable with it. And we need that balance as a man. We get out here thinking that we can tackle this world, but we're handicapped. and, until we find that feminine side that helps to balance us out. We're taught, that we are only 50% of a true believer in God until we have our woman, our queen, our wife. So I bear witness to that, bro. I feel it. Trust me, because I can get out here, do what I do, and know that I go home to peace for real.
Yeah.
I can say that now, brother. I can't speak for all y'all, but I can say for me, that's what I feel.
Yeah, I brag on my wife and daughter all the time, and and no matter what's going on in the world, the dark, the negativity, I always say, to be able to come home and my family unit be intact, my wife and I and our daughter be strong. That is the biggest blessing, because then I can go out in the world and be in the world and do what I need to do.
Recharged.
Yeah. Come home and be replenished.
That's a bass player, y'all, for real. This brother here, man, that's right. He love it.
Wow. All right. So you're from Compton.
Yes, sir.
So I grew up in the jungle. I went to Coliseum Street School, elementary school.
Inglewood.
Inglewood. and I started theater right in Sentinel Park in Inglewood.
Oh, wow. Okay. Shout out to
Inglewood Playhouse. Yeah, man. And so our elementary school had a the busing program. So for the first semester, they would take half of the kids from our school and bus us out to Palisades, to Marquez Street School.
Understood.
The great thing about that program is, and for those of you guys who don't know, Marquez Palisades is a white school. But what they also did, they would take half of the kids from the white school and bus them to our school.
That's that domestic exchange, right?
Yeah, and so it was really dope.
Yeah.
And I remember being in elementary school and being in that program. So some of my friends are white, and my grandfather used to say that integration messed up the black community. And at the time, I couldn't understand it because I'm a kid, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is, all of the studying I've been doing about, everything civil rights and whatnot. Like, this didn't happen. So, like, this is an improvement. Like, we're good. What do you mean?" And it wasn't until I got older that I understood what exactly it was he was talking about.
Right.
But I'm really curious about your thoughts and perspective in terms of what integration, has it been bad for the black community?
Things can look good. There can be a nice costume on things. That side of the conversation that people normally don't get into is the fact that we did better when we were forced to be together. And when I say that, I mean the black family was stronger. We were more united. We had more integrity. We had more love for each other. We had more knowledge of self. It was a black man, woman, and child. It was encouraged. We had businesses more. We had more trade, I would say, experience. We built what we had. We encouraged our families to stand up, stick your chest up, stomach in, chest out, as a soldier, as a young man. The young girls were taught how to be women. This is something that we were, in essence, forced to do, but it was natural for us. And so because we were under that type of circumstance, we had no choice but to excel, but to be successful.
And didn't know any other way.
Sure. So, and even along with that, we had more businesses. We had more everything under our control. And because of that, it gave us more of a proud level of dignity of this is mine. This is what we built. You felt proud and good about that. So when they said integration, as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said, Minister Farrakhan, that integration was a hypocritical trick, because in order for you to gain access into this house, you have to give up your own. See, it would be different as when you were bussed in to those different parts of LA, where they were bussed down to our part of LA. It was for informational exchange and educational exchange, and even an experiment or a experience exchange, because they wanted to see and wanted to show this is what they experience, this is what they experience, right? So that you could at least have that in your mind and your spirit to understand, okay, you have different perspectives. But when we were in this segregated type of circumstance, we had to literally give up what we built in order to gain access into somebody else's thing. That is the side that was wrong, because now I'm going back into a slavery servitude posture. Now I'm a second, third, fourth, fifth class citizen. Now I'm going back into a, massa type of circumstance, a slave step and fetch it type of circumstance. When I was a king, I was a real man in my own domain. No intelligent person gives up ownership for rentership. No intelligent person gives up what they built to go and be a part of somebody else's thing that doesn't contribute to their own survival as a people and as a community. So at that time, we had over 60 all black towns. It wasn't just Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had some of the most successful, thriving environments, banks, we again, engineers, we had everything. So that was the trick. That was the problem. And that's why some of the elders who were born at that time and who watched it, devalue and degenerate, they saw where we were and where we came from. Again, it was dignified. It wasn't ghettos like that. We had on suits. We dressed nice. We smelled good. We were on time. We went to work, and we were proud of it. And we didn't need to beg anybody for anything because we established it ourselves. And I believe that that's the mentality that many of our people are readopting. They're getting back into that self-sustaining behavior where we're building, again, for example, with yourself, what you've built and what these platforms are building and the different industries and businesses that our people are establishing. It's inevitable, brother. Cream always rises to the top. So we're at that point now where it's like, you know what, that's nice. We bust over there for a minute. Now it's time for us to get back to what we got and continue to build up what we have.
So here we are in, 2024. If just what you were describing pre-integration, right? So like now we're here,
Right?
Right. So the separatism doesn't feel like it's possible, right? So when we talk about like getting to a place of black unity, and we hear, black unity is, it's almost like a buzzword because so many people talk about it, and it sounds like a really cool concept. But when I hear it, I'm always like, what the hell does black unity really mean?
What does it mean? Yes.
In a real practical sense, What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the first thing is, most people, when they hear it, who have this standoffish type of emotion to it or just this irritation, it's primarily because they haven't seen it successful in abundance. So it's irritating because I want that. We want that. But too often we have too many barriers stopping us from that. So it becomes a problem where it's always a reach and a stop, a reach and a stop. Okay, we start something, it's not successful. We start something, it gets cut down, it gets blown up, it gets, stopped in some way. So it becomes irritating. After a certain period of time, you no longer want to do that thing because you don't believe it's going to happen.
But what does it really look like? Like I don't know. Again, I don't know if people, when they talk about it, really know what it looks like, as opposed to it sounding like this really cool, out of reach, ethereal, esoteric concept. Like, what does that really look like? Again, like in practical terms.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is it looks like a black man with a business that has black employees who pays them well, and they come to work on time, and it's successful. Doesn't have to be watered down. They're not begging anybody for anything. It looks like a family who is beautiful and proud of being together, that have degrees or no degrees, that have businesses or no businesses, whose children are respectful and educated, and who are not just thugs in society. It looks like communities of people who work together, who build together, share their dollars and knowledge together, who are not actively working to prevent each other from getting to the next level, which is another side of things, because there are some of our people who gatekeep, try to prevent us from getting to this side or having access to capital, money, opportunity. That happens. The self-hatred is very real, but it looks like us coming together and doing what needs to be done for the survival of the collective. I see it all the time. Hence Atlanta, hence parts of LA, hence parts of Chicago that are doing good work, not just harming each other. Hence parts of Philly, parts of New York, Texas. But I see it all the time. Our people are doing beautiful work, brother. I'm talking about opening up major businesses, community centers, organizations that are helping to alleviate the negative circumstances that affect our people. I see brothers and sisters opening up rehabs, detention centers that help to bring our youth back into a good condition by bringing in classes and people who teach them how to read and write, mathematics, business incubators, teaching them, so what is your concept? What do you want to do? And bring people in to educate them and bring them to that next level and stage. It happens. It does exist. The difference is the other side, when people hear black unity, they think uniformity. So they think, okay, we all have to dress the same. So Rizza, so I got to put on the bow tie like you? Is that what unity is? No. That's uniformity. That means we all dress alike, act alike, talk alike. That's not going to happen. That ain't going to happen. All right?
Right, yeah.
It's for real. That's not going to happen. But our people are a myriad of spices and flavors. We have different styles. Some of us may not think the same ideologically, politically, religiously. But uniformity is that. But unity is when we all come together to realize that we all want food, clothing, shelter. We all want our families to be respected, protected, uplifted, and loved. We all want our women to be protected, our children to be protected. We want the men to be respected. We want to be respected as a people, as a collective. That we can agree on. That's unity. And we are going to protect ourselves as a collective against anyone who comes in who tries to destroy that unity. That's what unity is. See, there's real difference. We have to understand the definitions of words and then also promote the examples that do exist.
That's the part.
The biggest thing is a lot of people don't think it exists because they don't see it.
We're not exposed to it.
We're always pushing the negative. And of course, the algorithms on social media help push the negatives, which is another thing. It's an actual literal thing that they do, where certain negative images of us and our people are literally pushed manually in the social media algorithmic system. But the positives are not pushed as much. But that's up to us. We can make anything go viral, including black excellence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny we talk about. Troy's over there laughing. Lay's laughing too. One of the probably one of my biggest annoyances is actually the term black excellence.
Oh, at times I get it too. Trust me, I get it.
Yeah, because it's like, I always say, when we put black in front of something, it immediately implies the sub standard of the thing that we're describing, right?
Well, according to who? See, the difference with me is I'm a little more prideful in that because we were put down and pushed down to where we had to have our own thing. No one else complains when their label or brand is on something. This is your brand. It's my brand. I'm a black man. Not the literal color of black, obviously. The essence of what created all human beings came from triple darkness or blackness. So when we say black, we're not talking no literal color. We're talking about the mother and father of civilization. I'm a black man. Absolutely black excellence. Why? Because I'm going to separate the fact that, excellence is fine. All excellence matters. But let's be clear. When we're talking about black excellence, we make it clear that, guess what? Excellence exists within us because you always been taught something different. You damn right I'm going to say black excellence. I feel you, but let the world know this is black excellence. And it's not because of some weird person came up with a term like it, but it's just the fact that that's just what it is. And I'm very happy to let people know that we are a people who have excelled. We literally are the mothers and fathers of creation on this planet. You need to know that. So you can walk tall with wisdom and with humility, but in the sense of, no, let the people see the examples that they don't see.
Right.
Let them see it.
Right.
Because then they're like, man, I can respect this man here. Look at that brother. Everybody will say, you see these brothers? We look up to these brothers. Why? Because they're demonstrating an example of exactly who we should be, how we should be. Not just, okay, we all pants sagging, guns and all that. We got that example too. We got both of them. We got it all. But let's promote the side that helps us to push survival a little more.
Right,
and I think everyone else will respect us when we demonstrate that we respect ourselves.
I.e., we're not all hood.
Exactly.
I can feel where you see Baraka smiling right now, because we used to often go back and forth on the black excellence.
I definitely understand.
So you have broadened my perspective on that term. So that at least give me some room to marinate and contemplate that more.
It means something. It means something more important and bigger to other people, and to the younger generation. It means something deeper.
Yeah,
it does. We just have to be mindful of how our people are affected by words, so then we won't be so narrow at times. Even though we think we have the full understanding. Same thing with me. I have to learn from everyone. I have to learn from you. I have to learn from our brothers. I have to learn from everyone. It's not a big I, little you. I know everything. No, I do not. it's different when you travel and see our people all over the world in different areas, different states and countries. You hear them saying certain things that you may not like, but when you see what it means to them, then you can connect to that goodness within it, then explain to them why you may not use it and what it means over here on this coast, so that they can understand. And then that's how you learn about each other. For example, before we go to the next point, I spoke at an event in the Virgin Islands. I spoke on the island of St. John and on the island of St. Thomas. On St. John, they have Bloods or Crips on St. John. They got Bloods on St. Thomas. And neither one of these children or groups knew where the terms came from. I said, I'm from Compton. Now we got Crips for real, because this is where they started. And they're like, what are you talking about, brother? And I had to explain to them what CRIP stood for, the acronym Community Revolution in Progress. And they were like, what? I said, Community Revolution in Progress, also Community Resistance in Progress. That was the acronym in the 1960s.
I never knew that.
See what I'm saying? So to the elders who grew up in the 1960s and down, a CRIP to them meant something different than what it evolved into or devolved into to something totally destructive. Them young brothers and sisters knew nothing about the history of Crips and Bloods. They knew nothing about the fact that it was to fight against racist police officers as a domestic policing system. Way back when you had the Crips called the Avenues, before it was called the Crips. And you got the Pirus and all that kind of stuff. When you learn the history of that, then you think, oh, so it was created as a good thing to protect the people against racist police officers or domestic terrorists at the time. Oh.
So what was how did it get flipped?
Infiltration, number one. Then, of course, envy, jealousy, hatred, lies, tricks, all these things that were utilized as military tactics to help us to destroy ourselves. And then, of course, from there, you had a lot of things where people start doing the coast-to-coast thing. Now it's a colored thing. Oh, my baby mama this, my block this, you interfering on my turf. It went into a lot of different things. But it was fighting against racism was the core of it.
That's crazy.
That was the core of what a Crip was. That was what it was, and a Blood, and that whole concept. So when I went to you're talking about outside of this country,
right? Talking
to some of our brothers in the islands, and they called themselves Crips and Bloods, teenagers. I spoke at an auditorium, like 500 of them. And they talking about Sue Whoop. I said, okay, real quick. I said, okay, quick question. I said, where did Bloods and Crips come from? What city, what state? None of them could tell me. I said, you ever heard of California? You ever heard of Inglewood? You ever heard of Compton? You ever heard of Oakland? They were like, yeah. I said, the Crips and Bloods came from those areas up there, way over there. And when I told them the history of it, they were like, nah, brother. We were not together. I was like, no, y'all weren't together. We were.
Yeah.
This is where it came from. So how that influenced people all the way outside of this country, they had no clue of the origin.
So were they actually, was it just, Crips and Bloods, or were they really banging?
They thought they were banging, is what I'm saying. It was more of a trendy thing, calling themselves that, having no clue what it means. And they would fight each other. They said if they saw somebody, they would fight and get involved in it because that's what they thought it was about. No, that's not what it was about originally. No, that's not at all. So I just brought that up because of how words affect people and how they take it in a different way, and they take on a whole idea different from what the real meaning is. So when, again, Black excellence or Black lives or whatever, people, I understand why people have difference of opinions about it. I really get it. I just know for me, I love our people. Anything we do, I'm about our people first. I stand in front of thousands of white folk and say the same thing. And they respect me for it. Because they're like, you know what, damn, I feel the same way about my people. I agree.
Right.
And you should.
As you should, no doubt.
Just
no
not,
doubt.
not supreme. Don't be supreme about it.
Yeah.
But definitely you should love yourself. White people should love themselves, but not to the detriment of nobody else.
Yeah. Don't be supreme. I'm going to get a t-shirt.
Don't be supreme.
Don't be supreme.
Unless it's with wisdom, brother. Has supreme
great.
wisdom. I'm with that. But.
That's great. Okay, so with the so now that we have an idea of what Black unity looks like, how do we get there? Like you make so now it feels like a closer destination. But what's the actual journey? It's like now that Crips and Bloods, globally is not what it was.
Correct.
Right.
For sure.
And we talk about the algorithms. We talk about media's, participation
and our participation.
Yeah, our complicitness.
Yes.
So how do we? Right. So how do we get there? Like, how do we tell? Because obviously you're in the community. So I'm asking you because you're in the community
Absolutely.
Way more than I am, obviously. So how do we get the community who are so not on that path because of the influence of, the aforementioned? How do we direct them closer to that black unity that you just described?
Very good question. The first thing is we have to point out the real enemy, number one. When you locate the enemy of yourself or your people, it helps you to become a little more united, even if you don't want to be, because you realize, oh, we are not the enemy. Okay. All right. So let's clear this up first. We are not one another's enemy, even though we thought we were. Okay. So once we get that established first, that's one thing. Minister Farrakhan said, our greatest enemy is our ignorance. It's number one. So damn, well, what does ignorance mean? It means a lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding or education about a particular thing, person, group, company, organization. Damn, so okay, ignorance is my number one, and you damn right it is.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you knew about finances, you would have them. If you knew about history, you would have it. If you knew about true economics, true overall education, engineering, building, we would be in a better position. If we had the knowledge, if we knew who we truly were as a people, we would be in a better situation. So you have ignorance. That's your biggest enemy, which means what? Get educated. That's the first thing you got to do. Get educated. Start talking to each other. We don't talk as much as we should. We're doing pretty decent in certain areas, but we have to open up communication between one another. Brother, where are you from? I like that. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Okay, how's your family? All right, this is where I grew up. This was my life. We have to talk to each other because we have far more in common than we don't. And once we start communicating, which we know communication is a universal solvent of things, once we talk, we become closer. Okay, then once we find out that's the enemy, number one, what is the second enemy? The system. The enemy, Satan, we know what we've classically called the system of white supremacy, right? These are different titles for it. Okay, so ignorance is our number one enemy. Number two is the system, as Minister Farrakhan said. Okay, so that helps us to get a parameter of taking it away from here and pointing it to here and then there. Okay, so we got that clear. So how do we solve this enemy here? Get educated, communicate, talk to one another. Okay, then two, find out about that system and what it's doing to keep us in the position that we're in. Okay, so what does that mean? Now I got to come together with you because you growing food over there and I got the money over here. I'm going to exchange my money with you for that food. Okay, that's going to add to you. You're going to employ more people so they won't be on the street. They got a job. Boom. And my people over here, we can eat. Okay, so that's exchange. So we find out what it is that we need from each other and how we can work with each other. Another thing I'll say is we have to kill the envy and jealousy among one another. That's a part of getting educated. Why is it that we don't do more business with each other? Why is it that we don't build and collaborate more? Okay, there are some real factors. We have done each other wrong. This is where we got to be honest about this. A lot of black men have done a lot of black men wrong for whatever reason. We out of our mind. We have ignorance. We have different circumstances, conditions. We've been hurt. We got trauma, and so we dump it on everybody else. Okay, a lot of black women have done a lot of black women wrong. That too. A lot of black men have done some black women wrong. A lot of black women have done black men wrong, et cetera, et cetera. Self-hatred is very real. Okay, so we have to be honest about it. Be honest. Look at it and start to heal from that. Don't generalize each other. Brother Malcolm Jamal Warner ain't never did nothing bad to Brother Rizza Islam. So I'm not going to say all black men this, all black men that, all. No. That brother has never done anything wrong to me. Say it loud so the world can see, okay, that's the example I need to look at. Let me stop generalizing my people and blanket statement all black women, all black men, so that I can at least have an idea that it is possible for us to do something together. That's how I carry myself. I'm not going to generalize you. Why? Because what I did is I cut myself off from all my people. When I say all niggas ain't, all y'all. So what did I just say? I'm not doing nothing with our people. And by default, I pull away from my people. They pull away from me, and then I have no choice but to go outside to somebody else. There's layers, brother, of how we have to address it and get to that point and make it popular promote the successes, not just the losses. We always promote when we lose. We promote the negative, the bad stuff, people fighting, people dying. We promote that. Promote the graduations, promote the new businesses, promote the success. This young brother read this many books. This little sister just started her business.
Right,
this black man got out of jail, came up with a business or started his trucking journey, started this. Brother's doing this now. Every success that we have should be promoted. Everyone, no matter how small, because psychologically it pulls away and pulls off the thick trauma that we have when it comes to us losing. Every success has to be promoted.
Yeah, and it builds.
It becomes normalized. Everybody else does that with their people because it injects survival into their people. So their people become normalized thinking, no, I got to get my good grades. What you talking about, bro? No, my cousin got good grades. He got a car. She got good grades. She got a house.
Yeah, we want to
get my good grades, bro.
We want that to be cool.
Come on, do that.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be corny about it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. No, every success must be promoted. Make that lit. That's what that is. That's what I do all the time. Every time I get around our people, you never hear Brother Rizza going at our people. Every now and then, it will be an individual who pushes this system's evil on our people. So I go at the system through that person by educating them, but attacking the system. See, I do my best not to attack us. No. I always promote the fact, no, I went to my brother's place. No, I went here. I come to Atlanta. I go to the black businesses first, and I find out if anything I need, I go to the black business. If there just so happens to be something that I need that a black business is not there for yet, okay, then I have to do what I got to do. But my priority is to spend my dollars there. Why? Because I know what it does. That adds to a black father, black mother, black children, pays y'all bills, goes towards your college education, whatever you're doing, right? It's deeper, bro. Yeah. So we have to fall back in love with ourselves. And again, that comes by way of us removing the general statements.
We have to fall back in love with ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Everybody didn't hurt you. You ain't even met me. Yeah. I'm not him.
Yeah.
I'm not your baby daddy. You're not my baby mama. We didn't attack. No, there are good people in our community. I would argue the majority of our people are good people. It's impossible for us to be a majority negative people. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's a revolutionary thought right there in itself.
The revolution, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, means a complete constructive change.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I brag about our people doing good. And if you get irritated about me bragging about our people doing good, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Check your spirit on that, because you love bragging about popping the bottles and all the craziness. That's cool for you. And if that's your thing, what, you mad? Don't get mad. Damn it. Brag about the fact, oh, guess what? My daughter doing good. My son doing good. We healthy. We living. We brag about all the good.
Yeah.
Make people irritated.
Yeah.
about how good we doing.
Make good cool.
Make good cool.
Good cool again.
Absolutely.
Ma'am. Right.
Facts.
Okay, so ignorance is the number one enemy. The system is the number two enemy.
Yes.
I guess those are the two important. Mm-hmm. Is there a third that we should be aware of?
Envy and jealousy is something that I mentioned, because after you point out who the real enemy is, okay, that's cool. But now we got to deal with each other when it comes to what we personally deal with. Brother Malcolm and Jamal Warner got a podcast. Man, I want a podcast. I could do a better podcast than him. You got people who think like this, just for no reason. Mm-hmm. You can go back to the Willie Lynch letter. You can go back to the self-indoctrination or the indoctrination of us being destroyed on the plantation. All of those are ingredients for sure. But let's make it very clear. Stop trying to tear your brother or your sister down for doing something good that you can also do. You can do it. That's all. Build it up yourself. Get out here. Be yourself. Do your thing. It's over 8 billion people on this planet, bro. We can all eat. I don't get this concept of how people are so small-minded that they think you are going to take something from them. Like they can't have it too. You can have money. You can have a house and real estate, and you can be successful. You can be seen by a lot of people if that's what you want. It's possible. You can do that. Just build yourself up and make it happen. That's all. Well, no, man, he got the spot what spot? What are you talking about? Make your spot.
Right.
What are you talking about? But that envy and jealousy is thick. And did it come from the plantation? Absolutely. It's a big deal, but we know enough about that now So we can't just blame that side. It's like, no, that's an ingredient. So learn about it good. Now, right now, why are you hating on your brother? Why? And be honest about that. Talk about it.
Right.
Like, be for real about this. Because envy, as we're taught by Minister Farrakhan, envy can lead to murder. People will kill for what they want if they think you have it and that they can't get it unless they get it from you. So you got to bring that envy and jealousy to a point where we kill it, bro. And let our people know, no, you can do this too. Let me show you how. That's the other part. Stop gatekeeping information. Put our people on. Show them how to do it. We really think that it's going to take money away from us by teaching other people how to make money. Just as one example, we think it's going to take something away from us knowledge-wise by teaching them how to learn about certain things, educate them about certain things, like it's going to take the knowledge out of my head. No, we actually remember roughly 90% of what we teach others. So it's actually going to help you with your knowledge.
Right.
So you should teach more.
Yeah. It's funny. I always talk about how there's something self-serving about helping others, about teaching others.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one thing that we don't, if more of us really understood that, then we would be about teaching and sharing knowledge that much more.
Yes.
Because we realize what it does for us.
Yes. In other cultures, it's almost illegal not to teach when you know the truth because it's an investment in the survival of your people and your community. They are obligated to teach. Yeah. It's almost illegal for them not to pass it on. What do you mean? You better teach him that. Why? Because if he knows that and he's taught that, he's going to recycle it back into the community. Keep teaching them the right information. Give it to them on whatever topic, whoever's willing to receive it. Another thing is some of our people don't want knowledge. They don't want information. They don't want help. Fine. Focus on those who want it so that you don't die internally and your passion and your fire gets, flickered out because you ran into a lot of people who don't want the help. There are plenty of people who want it.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Seek out those who want your help. That way you don't just give up on your people. A lot of our people give up on us because they have too many traumatic experiences with those who didn't want it. Find those who want it. That's all. Because you can't force help on someone who doesn't want it.
But those who want it exist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just find out. And that's what then you'll feel like your purpose is being fulfilled because I'm appreciated, and that way it won't die with you. It will continue on in the rest of our people.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do, bro. I don't care what nobody got to say. People like, man, Brother Rizza, I don't know how you do it. Yeah, you don't know. You don't.
Yeah.
Just keep watching.
Yeah.
I love us that much. Government, this, not. I know we're going to go there, but please,
well,
man.
I want it to be noted, Brother Rizza Islam, for the Nation of Islam, we've talked about the three major enemies, and a white person has not come up. I want to be very clear.
I like that.
On
I like
that.
I like that. Yes, sir.
Like just battling those three enemies right there makes all the difference in the world. But without even thinking about a white person or what white people have done or any of that.
No.
So I'm thinking about Dr. Black now. We did an episode with Dr. Daniel Black.
Okay.
Professor of African American Studies at Clark Atlanta University, and we were talking about the transatlantic slave trade, and we were talking about tribal warfare and whatnot, and the whole concept of we should all get along. And my point was, well, even in motherland we didn't all get along because we had tribal warfare.
Of course.
And then he made a comment. About. He said, "Let's take white people out of the equation for right now." The reason why they were able to come in and infiltrate us the way they did is because we didn't have us together. And I'm curious because he got a lot of flack from that. And his point was we weren't honoring our own proverbs. We weren't honoring each other. We weren't honoring the land. So there was complicitness in, selling selling slaves to the Europeans, not necessarily knowing the concept of chattel slavery.
Right, which is completely different.
Yeah, so not knowing what they were, sending their enemies into.
Ours was more of a community service, while the European is a total system of dehumanization.
Dehumanization, yeah.
It's completely different. Just want to point that out.
But just his comment about, okay, let's take white people out of the equation for right now, and let's deal with, with us. He got a lot of flack from that.
Of course.
But just hearing what you're talking about, it's like, again, we're not even talking, it's like this conversation, we're taking white people out of the equation. Like the three enemies that we need to deal with that can change, our state in a very revolutionary way has nothing to do with white people.
Nothing to do with white people in general. But the system,
yes,
the system does exist.
That's why
that's the difference.
But the system is different from white people did this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely,
it's not just semantics, but it's much easier to say, oh well, white people.
Well, blame is easiest, brother. Yeah. Blame is easiest, and I say this again as a member of the Nation of Islam. Okay, as one who is on 2 FBI watch lists, as one who is on the Atlanta Department of Homeland Security watch list, as one who was on the Disinformation Dozen White House list of only 12, and one of those 12 happens to be Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a current, right now, presidential candidate, just so you can understand. So let's make this clear. When anybody wants to talk, you ain't on those lists. I'm saying white people focusing on the skin. Let's go back in history. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, white skin ain't devil. It's not the skin. It's the mentality. The original mentality, that is that devil mentality, that is that against the original, that devalues and removes people from their humanity. That mentality is for sure the devil. You damn right. And it happened to embody just them at a certain point. And that behavior is, guess what? Practiced by everybody now. Everybody. It's devils in Mexico. It's devils in Compton. It's devils in Philly. It's devils in Hawaii. It's devils all over Europe. It's devils all over Africa. Why? Because of the behavior, what we do. And if all I want to do is point at white people all day, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to point at the fact that my brother just sold our sister into slavery, that my brother is trafficking our daughters over here. See, let's make this very clear, bro. Devil is a behavior. It is a behavior. So you can't point at the white man when you know damn well you know about that history and you still participating in things that you know came from them, but you are adopting yourself. So let's be real humble and accountable at this point. I can't just point at the white man. Ain't no white man going to come over here and encourage me to do nothing that's going to devalue my people. He will get his chest and his jaw broke. So let's make that very clear. Yeah. But in reality, I'm not interested in talking about white people all day long. I'm not. I'm a little too busy talking to my people. We got a bunch of problems that we need to fix. Ain't no white people. Okay, come on, man. Like, damn.
Knock it off.
Jeez. At a certain point, yes, that they have their place. The system of white supremacy does exist. The system that helps to perpetuate their perpetual superiority and our perpetual inferiority does exist. Have we been able to get around it in certain ways? Absolutely. Have we been able to access wealth and capital and build things? You damn right. The problem is we get to a certain point, then we get tired.
Yeah.
We get tired because fighting against this system is a 24/7 work. Building ourselves is a 24/7 work. You got to imagine this. You got to fight against trauma, fight against the current system that helped to inject the trauma, fight against your own people who have trauma. We have so many battles that we have to deal with to where it's like, damn, I'm sure a lot of them don't have to deal with it. Yes, some of them don't, but a lot of them do.
Sure.
Because now this system is turning on their own kith, kin, and cousin.
True that.
This system is going against their own people now. Now white folks like, well, we're brothers now. I know how it feels. It's like, chill out. You down in a certain way, but chill out now. Please, we ain't that comfortable. We're not there yet. I'm with you, but come on, please. Let's have that respect for But no, man, I don't get that. You have to be mindful again, because what a lot of our people have been conditioned to is only blaming the white man that had that place. It had a place in history for sure. Legitimately, you damn right, for sure. And we're not going to change that. Don't try to revisionist history. Oh, well, some white people helped us out. Stop, hold up, chill out, back up. Stop that. Acknowledge what happened to us. If you don't acknowledge what happened to us, then you can't take responsibility for what is being perpetuated right now because you're not acknowledging it. I don't see it. You do see it. And if you don't, you're trying to go into revisionist history and change it without changing it.
Yeah.
Stop playing that damn game. Understand what happened to our people. That way you can change for real and make progress while being honest about both sides. Tell them to be honest. You be honest. And then after we get done learning and being educated about the history, okay, in the present, what are we doing right now about our condition right now?
Yeah.
I'm not blaming y'all all day. I know I have the power to change my condition. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And I know you do too.
Yeah.
So you can blame a little bit. Okay, you done, bro? All right, I'm gonna let you blame for 10 more minutes. Go ahead. You done? All right, cool. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's build. Because at this point, we have no choice but to build. We have no choice, and a lot of our people are doing it. My family needs to eat. Your family needs to eat. We have to survive. There are systems in place, yes, but guess what? We're building our own systems that fight against those and that push through that. It does exist. So again, let's not get it twisted. It is difficult. It is real, but it is possible. And I see it every day. I experience the pushing through it and pass it every day. I done been through a lot, bro, dealing with this system. So I can't ignore the fact that it exists. But what I can't ignore also is that a lot of our people are doing very good and are continuing to build in spite of.
Yeah.
So we really have to focus on that.
spite
Stop
of.
giving white people so much damn credit. They're not God. All right? Seriously. And some people don't even realize when they keep doing that all day, they're saying that the white man is God still over my life. No, he's not. He don't feel like that entirely. You really don't. Seriously. And if you had a conversation with some white folk, most of them are just as ignorant as we are about us and about their own history.
Yeah.
Might want to have the conversation and ask them about where they came from.
Yo, I saw this this really dope documentary. I stumbled upon it. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out. It's called The Whitewashing of America.
Oh, yes.
It's about a 34-minute document. It's all black and white. It's all just it's a talking head piece. It's just all white people talking. And there were a couple of really cool takeaways from it, because they had this one section of when did you become white?
Oh, yes.
Right? Because first you were an immigrant. You were Polish.
Yeah.
You were, and then
Irish,
so at what point did you become white? So even so, talk about ignorance. So many white people didn't even know how to answer that.
Of course.
But there were some people who were able to speak on it. There were a couple of really key takeaways, and I suggest listeners to really check it out, white and black, because it's an important documentary. But there was one cat who talked about that he needed to, once he accepted that he was a racist, there was a weight that lifted off of his shoulders, because then he was able to really deal with like the reality of what's going on. He was really able to deal with the conditioning that led him to that, to all of those racist beliefs.
Of course.
It's like once he was able to accept that, then he was open for the education. And
Of course.
it made me think about, it's much easier for us to be socially conscious because we're forced to.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
For white people, it's much more difficult because they've got to give up certain comforts.
Of course.
They've got to give up certain relationships.
You got to give up something.
Yeah, because if you're going to be about it, then you got to have these conversations with your friends and families when we're not around.
Of course.
And it really made me think about the people who are really trying to do the work, as opposed to the people who want to stay in their comfort zones. Because all those conversations that they have to have, we don't need to be part of those conversations.
No.
We don't need to be at that dinner table. You deal with your own.
That's
friends
your
and
intervention.
family. Yeah.
Handle your intervention.
Yeah.
And guess what? You better not try to be involved in ours. Handle yours. Like I'll mention this. I saw a video of a woman, a Caucasian woman, elderly, and she was on stage. She said, "For all of you white people in here," she's white. She's all you white people in this room. If you would like to be treated like a black person in America, stand
Jane
up.
Elliott.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I agree with much of what Jane Elliott says. The rest of everything else I don't. When it comes to reparations and all that, not even close. But I do appreciate the truth she speaks. But the rest of that, not even close. Just to qualify that, Jane Elliott made that statement. Now, one white person stood up in the whole auditorium.
Right.
She said, "I don't think you understood what I just said." She said, "If you white people want to be treated like black people in America, stand." And she said, "None of you are standing here." She said, "That means you know what's happening. You see what's happening. I want to know why you are allowing it to happen for others.
Yeah.
And they was like, damn.
Yeah.
We're all good, right? We're all human beings. No, okay, would you like to be treated like me? Well, yeah, exactly. Right? So that whole situation is what snatches all of the veil of, as I said, the costume of things. Let's be real, all right? Let's just be real. You know what's going on. Talking about there is no racism. Stop it.
Yeah, knock it off.
Then would you like to be treated like me? Well, you wear a suit. You did. That's all. That is nice. Yeah, let me get pulled over by the wrong police officer. You don't experience the same. You won't, right? 9 times out of 10, you won't. And when you brought up the color caste system with them, when they learned about, Irish and Polish and German and all these different things, yes, people try to say, well, white, it's just a color construct founded by Karl von Linnaeus and Johann Friedrich Blumenbach and all that. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Knock it off. When we say white people, you know what we're talking about.
Right.
Just like you say black people, we know what you're talking about. And you know what you're talking about. See, like, it's 2024. Let's cut this crap.
Yeah.
Because people try to get technical. Well, technically, according to, like you said, semantics, stop it. Officers don't give a damn what I call myself. You don't care what I call myself. You actually don't care for the most part. Now, some of our brothers were talking to the legal side. Well, brother, if you use the word black, that'd be a little different. Okay, I got all that. After you get done with all that nonsense, same situation. Get pulled over. I'm just using this because it's a real basic example for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what you are then. So if it's that simple, let it be that simple for us so we can stop arguing. White people are very comfortable being united around being white because it's their security.
Yeah.
They're very cool with that. Yeah. Don't you say no, none of that. I'm white.
Yeah.
All right, and they're cool with that.
Don't call me Polish.
No, don't call me. Really, because it's like, okay, if that's what you are, if that's your nationality, then use that every day, all day, everywhere. Yeah. But you don't, because you are all given a security net of whiteness, and it is so good to use. It tastes magnificent. Gives you so many benefits, don't it? Wonderful. Don't be an a-hole about this. Just be honest about it and look at it. That way, when you're honest, you say, okay, I understand how the system did this. So my job is to dismantle that, be honest, talk to my people. Again, talk to your people and get that together. And our job is to educate our people, again, so that we can build our own or continue to build upon our own. That benefits us.
Yeah, word.
That builds us. That's all. I'm not even interested in the system. It's like, no, it is what it is, but we have things that we can do and have been doing that have built us up. We have to just continue to focus on that. Everybody respects us when we respect ourselves. And we're not doing it so that they can respect us. We're doing it because we know it's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, I gotta go. It's 2 different directions I want to go with that.
Let's go on both, brother.
Okay, let's start with reparations. Because me personally, I don't. Here's being very honest, vulnerable moment. I don't completely understand reparations in terms of what. I get the concept, but what is that really supposed to look like? What does that look like in a way that is actually helpful other than just cutting a check, like for once it's decided who actually gets the check?
Very good question. First thing, this government never asked our people anything about how they should destroy us. They just did it. So they shouldn't have a say in how they should repair us. Just do it. If we say this is one way to do it, cut a check, absolutely you should do that. Why? Because you made checks based off of what you did to us. By destroying us, you made money. By using us, you made money. Quite literally, millions and billions of dollars were made because of what you did to us, our ancestors, our people. Some say, well, you were never in slavery. You a-hole. You weren't there when my mom gave birth to me, but I'm right here. I can't stand these asinine arguments that people get into. You don't say that about the Jews. You don't say that about the Indians. You don't say that about the Chinese who were put in internment camps here in America. You don't say that about the Japanese. You don't say that about nobody else who was given reparations from America for what they did. But when it comes to our people, there's always this, well, let me just see. I don't know. Oh, you guys are lazy. You want to hand out. Stop insulting hardworking, intelligent people. It's not a damn handout. It is a repair for damage done. That's all that is. And you have no right, because not one of you punctified weird Negroes on the internet, I'm specifying, those of you who are black people with white minds, none of you are even qualified to open your mouth, because if you were on the plantation when that was happening, you wouldn't disagree at all why it's needed. So don't disrespect the very DNA that you have. Some people hate the skin they in, bro.
No doubt.
You don't even feel a connection to your people. Tell a Jewish person, well, why do we need to give Israel reparations every year? Why are we giving you $8 to $10 billion every year? Your Holocaust didn't happen here. They would look at you and say, really? Really? But guess what? Some of you weird Negroes, you wouldn't even say that to them. That's how loyal you are to them. But you're not loyal to your own people. So you're sick. Never open your mouth against the repair of our people. And don't say, well, we need to do this. We don't need money. Who are you? I see all these people who get out here saying these things. You don't understand. You don't. Brother, that shirt says knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. If you don't have the right knowledge, you are a slave. And everyone who says, well, reparations isn't needed, we don't. Who is we? Everybody who says we don't need it, stand over there. That's fine.
Right, don't get it.
No. So there will be white people, by the way, who saying I'm 1/18 black.
No doubt. Yeah.
My family, I was a part of the 1% drop. And they're going to be in there with kente cloths and kufis and dashikis on. Y'all think I'm playing? It's happening now. Talking about Assalamu alaikum. Brother, you think it ain't going to happen? It's going to happen.
So what does reparations look like? So for
Absolutely.
you, what does reparations look like? Is it a check? Is it building institutions? Like, what exactly would that look like for you?
A check is a part of it.
Okay.
The institutions for sure are part of it because we have to be re-educated, right? Getting back into the actual knowledge of who we are, exactly the real history, et cetera, because this system hasn't fully educated us in any way, really, when it comes to our people. So it's, of course, the check. It's the institutions, but I'll say what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has said and what Minister Farrakhan has said. The primary thing is land, because everything we can get comes from the land. Now, when you start going in that direction, people are like, oh, yes, because on the land we can build a house. On the land we can build a farm. We can feed ourselves. On the land we can put everything together that helps us with the institutions. We build the schools, the hospitals, the grocery stores, the airports. We give us that land that is owed to us. The money is the capital with which to build upon that land. That's all. Don't say you don't have it. You gave Ukraine over $100 billion. Stop it. You give Israel hundreds of billions, and you give them roughly 8 to 10 billion every year. Stop it. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do it. You don't have to print some more. Keep printing. You're already printing. U.S. Mint, Federal Reserve. We need to print some more.
Yeah.
The dollar's already bursting. Print some. Don't wait until the dollar is completely collapsed to then give us 80,000 tons of paper. I know what you're doing. So I'm looking at the camera. That's the plan. Don't do that, But land, according to Minister Farrakhan, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in the Final Call newspaper, on the back of what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe as a part of what the Muslims want, it talks about that, reparations. It talks about, what happened to us in slavery and how things should be repaired. It talks about those of our people in prison unjustly who can be taken out and repaired by us, by the educated among us, to put them back in a good condition. They can give them jobs so that they can work on the land, to build the land. All of this, not just the money. It's the money, it's the land. We'll build the institutions and anything else that we need the money for. So it's not just that. Because some people, then they'll say, well, it's a handout. No, again, it's a repair. It's not a handout, because you're not saying repair for Israel. You're not saying repair for anybody else.
Well, thank you. I think that feels like the first
handout, pardon me.
The first time that you're the perfect person to ask. I think that's the first time I've actually heard it in a way that actually makes sense to me, because I'm always hearing it in the context of cut us a check.
Yeah. Some of our people can oversimplify it.
Yeah.
And mind you, it's not wrong. It's just some of our people don't know how to articulate it past that.
Look,
some don't need to.
I look at what some people did with their, stimulus check, or with their
that's stimmy. With stimmy.
And I go, there's got to be something, more than just cutting the check.
Of course.
But you put it in a way that actually makes sense, that I get now.
And I believe that the check can be distributed to the responsible groups among our people who have the tangible longevity of a consistent record of doing what is best for our people. So a delegation of, representatives from those different groups and organizations, that's one. And then, of course, to the general, but establish that first, the cohesion among the top groups, among our people who have been doing that work consistently, legitimately, not just talking, but for decades have been literally seen in the community, building our people up in all those ways that I just mentioned and a whole lot more. We have a lot of them. And then from there, We can do all of that, brother. It's not difficult. It's just, again, we have to be mindful. Again, we have infiltrators involved right now too, who are getting in between that. Infiltration is not gone, brother. No, COINTELPRO is not dead. Every black organization right now, including all the way down to the gangs, have domestic terrorists and government agents in them right now. It's not something that was in the past. It is an active thing right now. It's not possible for us to continue to be hating ourselves for this damn long without government intervention. Please.
Right.
Please, bro. It still exists. Just to mention that. That's another reason why I have to push so hard to keep this unity demonstration all the time, everywhere I go, because I know actively behind the scenes, the government is pushing that division all the time.
What organizations, just name a few, that you would think about in terms of, forming that delegation, whatever point we get reparations, the delegations of responsible people / organizations that you would.
Well, we'll start with the spiritual. So, of course, Nation of Islam, different Christian churches, black Christian churches, of course, the Hebrew Israelites, of course, the Moorish Science Temple, of course, the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. Of course, you can toss in the Panthers. You can toss in all the black groups that say they for black power. We have to start with those. Why? Because we are so loud about how much we love our people, right? Okay. And we do have the record. We do have that. And I'm talking about all of them, the names that I mentioned and those that I did not mention, because that's the spiritual. We have to have God at the head of this, right? So we don't have to agree on every part of the text or which spiritual book, but we have to agree that this was done and it needs to be repaired. We start there. Then, of course, we go down to the economic groups who have been fighting for. You got Brother Dr. Claude Anderson. You have, I believe, in Cobra. You have those who have been pushing for reparations. All the reparations-based organizations who have been pushing for legislation all across this country. You have some in California, New York. You have them in Philly. You have them in Texas. You have a lot of them, right? So we have to go down there. And then, of course, you go from that point all the way down. And as we come together, and this government says, okay, this is what we're willing to do. This is the number. Okay, we can either say yay, nay, etc., whatever, boom. Okay, and then go from there. But it has to be done in a way that is logical, that is responsible, that is educational. We have to be mindful of how this moves, and we cannot hate on each other. What I just said, brother, may cause some issues for people because they truly don't see the real end goal for some of them. They don't think it's possible. Some of them don't believe it's possible. Some of them believe that God punished us completely and we deserve everything except reparations. You got some of them who genuinely, no, y'all deserved it. No, we don't. No, we just, okay, brother. Okay. Do you eat food? How do you get on these cameras to say that we don't deserve it? Who's paying those bills? Right. See, get real. Some people hate themselves so much. And they don't hate Satan as much as they hate themselves. Wow, it's so bad. Minister Farrakhan said we must love our people more than they hate themselves.
Wow.
So at this point, brother, I seek unity among our people. That's what we've always sought for. Even though, again, what's promoted is the negative, but they don't promote the positive. So, again, hopefully this gets out a lot more. I'm pretty sure it will. Because once I mention all those different names in those groups,
there you go.
Spread it, y'all. Go ahead and spread it.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
There was a quote you said, Minister Farrakhan quote. The last part was, we can argue about religion later.
Oh, yeah. The first part? Minister Farrakhan, man. hey, Farrakhan cold, bro. He said, we should argue over religion after we're free.
Yes. Yeah.
I promise you when I heard that, I said, that's what I've been feeling right there.
Yeah.
Because, come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
I had this slight interaction day before yesterday. Going to get something to eat. Black-owned restaurant. Go order some food. Two brothers get up from the table, and they walk with it. They said, Rizza Islam. I said, yes, sir. He said, my brother, how you doing? He said, well, before I shake your hand, brother, what are we? I looked at him. Mind you, I'm standing like this tall above this brother. I almost wanted to say, are you out of your mind? But I said, what do you mean? He said, well, brother, what do we call ourselves, brother? Because you know we Israelites, right? And I was like, sure, but yes, brother, sure. Then he shook my hand, and I looked at him thinking, wow, in order for you to shake your brother's hand, I have to say the right word. You just spiritually gangbanged on me, bro.
Wow, word.
You really?
Wow.
I wanted to really go. I wanted to break his hand. How disgustingly disrespectful are you?
But you still shook his hand.
Of course I shook his hand because that's how I'm taught.
Yeah.
But you are my senior, and then he starts going and trying to teach me how we're this and how we're that. Brother, no, you are a N-word, which you don't like to say. That's what you are to the system. And you just demonstrated that when you had division on your mind before you could even shake my hand. Damn. I thought we left that in the street with the Bloods and the Crips. That's why they ain't in your damn church. Because you're doing the same thing they doing in the hood. You ain't no better. That was so disgusting to me. And not only that, we're eating at the same restaurant. Mm-hmm. So we're united when we want to eat. Brother, you better stop. I promise you, brother. I looked at him. I said, brother, I don't get into the spiritual game banging. Oh, I know, brother. Yes, sir, brother. No, I looked at him. I really was like, brother, that's what you just did. Wow. In 2024.
Right. Here we are.
Call yourself whatever you want to call it. Well, you a Muslim, brother, and we believe in a different. No. You are what you practice. Minister Farrakhan said, we are not what we profess with our lips or what we say. We are what we practice. And what you just demonstrated was a devil, bro. You say whatever you want to say. That was a devil behavior based off of some scripture that you misinterpret. You think, oh, we're not supposed to enter. No, you out of your damn mind. You're out of your mind. You don't see yourself as one people, but this enemy does. They see us as one people.
Right, word, yeah.
We should see ourselves as one people. They're very united about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you see them Negroes calling themselves all these different things. Yeah, okay. They don't give a damn about what we call ourselves at all. Again, I don't care. I sincerely, we need to get this through our head. The younger generation coming up behind us is going to attack a lot of the elders because of how messed up you make the environment for us by way of your damn division with these labels. The younger generation is going to come against a lot of the elders, brother. Mark my words, I'm telling you, because a lot of them mess up our progress. They genuinely do, and they don't even realize it. They're cutting off relationships, cutting off unity efforts, all the work we're doing to build. They keep knocking it down because of their ego, what they think the scripture says. And this generation is going to say, all right, you causing a problem. Wow. See, we're taught, I'll put it this way, brother. We're taught this way. We come in peace, and we are taught never to be the aggressor. But if aggressed upon, we fight like hell with those who fight with us. See, so I'm peaceful with you. But if you are aggressive toward me, my duty is to protect myself and fight against you. However, at a time, if I can be peaceful, even if you come at me with a sword or weapon, if I can inspire peace, that is my first duty, is to do that. So that's what I demonstrated. Mm-hmm. See, again, you are what you practice. Everybody talking all day. I'm a this, I'm a that. Nah, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You practicing some stuff that goes completely against what you say you believe. And this enemy love it every time. Yeah, keep that divisive stuff going, brother. All y'all got to eat. All y'all got to sleep somewhere. All you need a home. All you have families that you want to be protected. And here you go arguing over labels. Oh, my God is Allah. Oh, my God is the Most High. Oh, my God is Jesus. My God is a... Shut the hell up. Damn. Mm-hmm. Seriously. Really? Churches all over the place. Y'all don't even believe in the same God. How many different variations of Christianity is there? Over 250? How many different variations of Islam? Even the Hebrew Israelites, y'all have so many different factions and groups. Damn. At what point? Seriously. We're all embarrassing to the whole world because we are the ones who are the keepers of knowledge. We're the keepers of knowledge and spirituality and the tomes of discipline. And everybody in the hood is like, y'all niggas crazy. Because one thing y'all united on is your ignorance and your posturing with your ego out here. None of y'all even follow what you telling me that we should follow. We get better. We get along better down here than y'all do. Everybody in the hood be laughing, brother. They laugh. They're like, y'all, okay, but yeah, I hear all that. Your pastor's over here with some of the sisters down here in the hood last night. Right. Yeah, okay, all that. Right. You keep talking, bro. It's going to hurt some feelings. I genuinely don't give a damn. You need to have your feelings hurt because this system benefits off of our ignorance a little too much. So the labels, brother, have been a problem. I say the greeting in every single one of those languages. I say shalom to my Hebrew Israelite brother. I say Islam to my Moorish brother. I say black power to my Black Panther brother. I say assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brother. I say peace to the 5% nation of God's on earth. And I say peace and God is good to my Christian brother because we're involved in all that. It's a universal language. Stop letting language divide us. The hell is wrong with you? Damn. Seriously, it's irritating. Talking about I can't hold your hand. Brother, you better hold my hand. Because I guarantee if they ran up in here talking about we got a call about a black man between 5'4" and 6'8". We gonna be brothers then. You better act like it. Both of you come with us.
Yeah, so what does freedom look like? Like so I love the quote. We can argue about religion
after freedom.
So what does freedom look like?
Freedom looks like our own everything established and thriving. Grocery stores, schools, our own airports, our own not only clothing supplies, but engineering, building things. We are doing this. It's already happening, right? So it's not that we have to wait for 10, 20, 30 years. No, it's literally happening. We have people in all these areas. All we have to do is come together.
Even our own airports?
The airport, I think that's the only thing that right now, well, actually, no. Compton Airport, black owned. Boom.
Wow.
The Compton Airport.
Wow.
Black owned.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shout out to the Compton Airport.
Wow. Word.
Shout out to Compton. And I believe there are a few more.
Okay.
But, even with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I believe we had a black-owned airport. I believe it was Arkansas, but don't quote me on that. But Nation of Islam had its own airport at a certain point.
Okay.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah, but so it exists, is my point. It exists. All we have to do is promote the fact that it exists and also protect what exists among our people. So promote it, support it, but protect it. Because here's where you'll get, right? You'll get people, man, what about Tulsa? First of all, you weren't there, so stop acting as if, oh my God, my house got blown up. Stop that. Because if you allow fear to control you, you'll never do anything. We won't move anywhere. We won't do or build anything. Tulsa was one, and it was horrible. It was one of the only times, I believe, or the first time, where bombs were dropped within the United States on a civilian population using German planes. It was horrific what happened. However, stop letting that be the example as to why we shouldn't move forward. No, you better move forward. Use that as a reason why you should. And use that also as a reason why you need to maintain your protection of what you have and stop pretending as if everything is kumbaya. It's not. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan said business is warfare. So the moment you get into business, you are now going to war. What do I mean by that? You talk about health, I talk about health. Who is our enemy automatically? Pharmaceuticals, because they benefit off of us being sick. You in war. If we talk about our own airports, who's our enemy? Every single one of them airlines that make money from us buying a ticket. We don't need to buy a ticket from them, so all that money now goes to our own planes. Ooh, we at war. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to be mindful that, oh, I built this, I started this. You at war, baby.
Yeah. You
just know. No, bro, protect it. Don't be a fool thinking everything, oh, kumbaya. No, stop that.
Yeah.
Every intelligent person protects what they own, protects what they have, protects what they've built. Don't be foolish. Racism doesn't exist. Well, business exists. And it is warfare for real. And people will do crazy things to secure their clientele to make sure you don't get their business.
Right. No matter what color you are.
No matter what color you are. Yeah. What? You better stop playing. Yeah. Everybody start thinking about this. Yeah. After a while. So we have to be mindful of that. Protect what we have and stop being afraid. Again, stop using the negative examples. Look at the over 60 all-black towns we had. Use the successful ones as examples, too. Stop acting as if, oh, everything is getting blown up. Just stop. I can't stand when people do that. Stop. There's tons of black-owned businesses doing very well right now. Industry doing beautifully. Keep promoting that and keep building on that.
Yeah. All right, before I let you get out of here, because I know you got a flight to catch.
Yes, sir.
Your top 5 MCs.
Here this brother go. Here it go. Okay, see, we were just talking about the division.
So let me.
It's about to spark something for them.
So that was my entryway into the hip hop conversation.
Yes, sir.
Because one, it's hard for me to even name a top 5.
Yes, same,
right?
Same.
So I got maybe a top 10.
Yeah,
right,
man.
So
I'll mention 5 of my favorite.
Yeah,
I'll say it that way because I know y'all going to Rizza's top 5. No, it ain't.
Right.
Just
yeah.
5 of my favorite.
And in no particular order.
No particular order. Thank you. You see, here y'all go. No particular order. Pac is on there. Rakim is on there. Let's see. Big Daddy Kane is on there. Because I'm real hip hop. Like I love real hip hop.
Yeah.
But I was also raised in gangster rap. So I gotta toss it in there. It is what it is. Your brother Crip walks for real. Let me see. Kendrick Lamar.
You can take him out the hood, but
you can't, man. Look, not all hood, not all of it, but some of it is there. Keep them ingredients. Kendrick Lamar's in there. Biggie Smalls is in there. I have to. Nas is in there. Dang, boy. Let me see. MC Light is in there.
Word. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just ridiculous with it. I'm trying to think here. No particular order. LL is in there.
Okay.
He is from way back then. And even currently right now, it's not too many artists right now. Simba is in there. I like my brother Joyner Lucas, of course. Golden Child. It's my brother from the nation, which y'all need to hear about. Oh, you gonna be hip. Okay. Trust me. Man. I don't know, man. I have so many. Sister Cyrock.
Oh my God.
Cyrock the MC.
Yes.
The MC.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, she's
brother,
a beast.
I promise you, man, there's so many. I love battle rap too.
Okay.
Daylight. Our brother Ice Cube.
Okay.
I know you say hip hop, which all that is hip hop.
Yeah,
it's
no
all
doubt,
still hip hop, but I just again, and not only that, but I have to mess y'all up a little bit, move it around because I don't want y'all to be playing these games.
Right.
So shout out to everyone that I mentioned and who I did not mention, because there are a lot, man. I love hip hop. I love music. I love rap. You know, that's deep a part of my being.
So I have I've always been very vocal about my love-hate relationship with hip hop, because I love it, but there's so much of it that I hate. What are your thoughts about the responsibility? I don't know if responsibility might be the wrong word.
No, that's the right word.
So because so much of our hip hop is doing the devil's work.
Yes.
Is doing the system's work.
Yes.
It's perpetuating the very stereotypes that we say we don't want to.
That we don't like being thrown on us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm really trying to figure out what my question is. So what are your thoughts on the responsibility of, because even I mean, think about my, probably 6 or 7 of my top 10 perpetuate the very things that I hate about hip hop.
Yes.
So I'm always stuck in this,
love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'll say it this way, brother. Prior to the industrial prison complex, things were different. Things were hip-hop. The problem is hip-hop was detrimental to this system's agenda, because hip-hop inspired black love, black power, building, ownership, loving yourself, self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. One of my favorite was some of the top MCs, ever, right?
Yeah.
And that song was empowering and inspiring us to get back on the right path. That's when we rocked the medallions with the black fist, right? And wore and did that. Queen
Black
Latifah, I forgot to mention our sister Queen Latifah for the hip hop. But that circumstance, brother, after a certain point, yes, we could say, well, we had to eat, we made money and all that, boom. We have to be mindful that the record labels encouraged it, they supported it, because the goal was to build the prisons and to push an influx of people in prisons. Okay, well, if I can encourage you to push criminality, drug abuse, pimping and hoeing, all that, cool. What am I doing? I'm investing in criminality, which invests in the prison. And then I put that on the stock market. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. I make a lot of money. And guess what? You are my biggest promoter. You got a bonus. Here you go. Oh, you went platinum. You went double platinum. What? For calling her the B word? Oh, damn, I want to go triple platinum. See, again, using the ignorance of our people against ourselves to the benefit of the system. Now, after a certain point, when we became aware of what the hell that was and what's being done and how we are perpetuating it and are being involved in our own destruction, at that point, now you can't blame the system anymore. See, now it happens at a certain point, but once you are aware, then you can't just say, it's them, it's this, it's that. No, you literally don't have to call her the B word anymore. You reach the pinnacle now. You're a multimillionaire. You're known all over the world. You literally don't have to say that. You do not have to use the N word. You don't have to anymore. You don't have to promote drugs. You literally don't have to. You got enough money. You got investments in real estate and other businesses. You literally don't have to. So why the hell are you doing it? Because we don't put them in check for doing it. number one.
Or if you do, you get bricks thrown at you.
Yeah, but shoot, I'm gonna tell you this. At this point, the people will accept what you give them, because you got sisters up there dancing and twerking, calling themselves the most horrible stuff. But we'll get mad at a man off the stage for calling them that.
Right.
You cool with the man on the stage saying it, but not cool with the one off the stage.
Right.
This don't make no sense. So we have to hold ourselves accountable at this point.
Yeah.
We have to, because you literally don't need to do it anymore. You don't. And the system does benefit off of it. Some labels still push it, but then you have a few people in these areas who don't want it. A lot of the black executives. So I talked to a couple of them. They're like, look, man, he pushing that. That's another thing, another conversation we have to open up. Some individuals in these record labels do not like that anymore, because they telling their talent, look, you got all this money. You can get out there and play the flute. Andre 3000. Right? You can get out there and just do a whole album on that. Now, the people may get a little irritated because they're like, brother, you one of the most conscious rappers. Andre 3000. Sorry about that. I didn't mention you. See what I'm saying? Ain't no top 5. I'm telling you, you can, when you get to a certain point where the people love you and who you are, you can give them the positive now. Now you can. And I encourage the artists and rappers to do that, because the other side of this is you have a satanic hand involved in the music industry that continues to benefit off of that. And that is also a fact too. See, two things can be true at the same time. One, you know damn well you don't need to push that anymore as the artist. And two, you have people benefiting off of that, you pushing it. So it is hand in hand, but they don't need to push it. And the last thing I mentioned is artist development was taken out of the record labels and all these contracts. So there is no teaching them of the money management side of things. What does going platinum mean, handling their credit, handling, the distribution. They're not taught that. They're just used to enslave and ensnare the people into this satanic push of things. And that's why the conscious artists are put in the back. The conscious artists who inspire the education, upliftment, all that. And the bars be dope. I'm not talking about the corny ones.
Right, sure, yeah.
A lot of us, educational, but just like you got to catch the beat, bro. You on the 2 and 4, you got to be on the 5 and 6.
But positivity isn't always corny. It doesn't have to be. It's not. Corny. Yeah.
We have some of the dopest artists who can go bar for bar with some of the top people and demolish them. It's not a divisive thing. It's a educational thing. That has to be put back at the top, but it's up to us to do that. It's up to us. And honestly, I believe the people are starting to get to that point. People are not even interested anymore like they used to be. Yeah. Just the drugs and the this and the bees and the hoes. And people really get tired of it. Yeah. They really are. Like genuinely, even this younger generation, like, okay, like what else now? Booties in my face, alcohol's in my face, weed, lean. All right, cool. Guess what's happening? I'm doing that in real life. What happened? I got STDs, 5 baby mamas. I'm broke. Okay, I listened to you. My life is effed up. Put on something different. That's what's happening now. Because the reality of what you're doing up there is hitting us down here, and y'all not the waste management engineers. You ain't cleaning up the garbage. We are. And the people don't like what you feed them no more. So people are now throwing this up because they've been so impacted with this mental funk and bad nutrition intellectually and mentally. Yeah. People not with it no more like they used to be. So shout out to the conscious artists. Shout out to the artists who just do whatever you're doing, but get educated. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave and woman unfit to be a slave. Don't be a slave anymore to what you think the people want. Give them what they need.
Word. And also, I need to also take a moment to acknowledge a lot of the people. One of the more controversial episodes we had, we're talking about the N-word.
Oh, yes.
And I got a lot of flack from people because of what I was saying about the N-word and, some of my favorite hip-hop artists who I don't necessarily listen to anymore because of the gratuitous use of the word. Understood. And I've spent so much energy on the people who were hating on me for that perspective. And I have to do better. And I want to say thank you to the people who rocked with me and supported me. And actually were very vocal about how much they agreed with that perspective. Because you know how often we will spend more time on the negative.
Of course.
We can be in a room with 10 people and the one person over there who is negative, we spend more time on them.
Yeah, it takes away from,
So, and I think there were way more people who rocked with me on that than who didn't, but I spent so much of my energy on those who didn't.
Yes.
So I just want to just say shout out to, to the folks who got it and supported me. And
I will join you in saying, brother, I fully support you on that. Because again, when you have the right knowledge, you get why. You get why it happened. You get why people don't like it. You get why it's going where it's going. And it seems like it benefits us when we use it. Oh, it's a term of endearment. You know, I took it and made it into a positive.
Right.
I'm a slut now.
Right.
Word?
Right.
Really? No. I mean, again, we use it. I grew up in Compton. It became a part of our lingo. I get that. That's the indoctrination. That's the cultural norm. It's what we've accepted.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be, because alcohol and weed has become accepted as a norm in our culture. Beating each other, gang banging. Okay, so is that normal? No, it's been normalized. It's not normal. Then they go into the, well, brother, nigga is actually from Negus, king, ruler. Okay, see, cut it out.
Right, knock it off.
You are not no Ethiopian king. You live off of, listen, you better stop playing. Seriously, stop.
I
out of love, y'all, come on.
It occurred to me probably about a month ago that I think one of the reasons why we hold on to the N-word so much is because it's the only place where we can exert superiority or supremacy. It's the only thing that we claim to own.
I can see that.
We claim to own because it's the one thing we can say. We can say that, but you can't.
Right.
We have no other area of to feel superior or to feel supreme because now because of white supremacy, we crave supremacy, right?
Gotcha,
they got us craving that. So using the N-word is the only. It's the only area. It's the only thing that we have that we can hold on to that we can feel superior.
That is true for some of our people. That I've seen that. Yeah. That is true for some of our people, and I don't disagree with that because that is the reality. We have to push the reality, which should be the dominant reality, which is we don't need it. We don't need it. See, sometimes I may say this because it is real. I'll say, I'm a black man. I'm not a nigga. I'll say that to differentiate and to separate that so that, one, you can realize, okay, well, first of all, hold up. That's two different things?
Right,
that's the first thing.
Sure.
That's two different things? Okay, that's one. And two, wait a minute. So what are those two different things? Because I need to know what I'm being so I'm not being one of these two.
Wow.
The younger generation, they need to be educated on what that even means.
Yeah.
I say, no, I'm a black man. That's nigga stuff. What do I mean when I say that? Dead stuff. Stuff that destroys us. Does not represent us properly. Stuff that brings us down as a people. No. Not that's nigga stuff. And we got to kill that side to get back into the God side of who we are. Get back to that side. Black man, black woman, the original mother and father of civilization. To civilize is to bring knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement. Get back to that, bro. Get back to it and be cool with I'm a black man. I ain't no nigga. Who said it? Golden Child, actually my brother. He said, I'm not on no nigga shit. Niggas ignorant. Niggas can't be trusted. Niggas die too quick. I'm on my Mansa Musa pass through, make my people richer. I'm moving godly now way before them ships was moving. I'm in a whole nother mode. Give my respect to be gold. My brother gonna love that. But that was his whole, he was like, I'm not on that.
Yeah.
We gods. We are black people. We are original people. Get back to that, man. Again, I feel like people that are like, I'm a nigga. Eddie Griffin. Nah, I'm a nigga. I feel you, brother. I feel you. But even he know. We all know. So yes, sir. We love our people, man. We just got to keep educating. Be the good example for them. We ain't not above nobody. We love y'all. We love each other. Let's keep building. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you, brother.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm so glad we were able to do this.
Yes,
before
sir.
you get back on the plane.
This brother has the voice of a bass player. His voice is bass. Like this is crazy to me. Oh, you know what? I have a gift for you, my brother, as well. I appreciate you again for inviting me on. This is the infamous black box, interestingly enough, right? It is black. Now, this is what I created. It's a brain supplement, an herbal brain supplement, the #1 black-owned herbal brain supplement on the planet. And I wanted to give you this because I didn't want to just get out here talking. We present solutions of health for our people. The bottle's black.
Intellectual power. Yes, sir.
Intellectual power, my brother.
Yes,
and,
yes. I went to intellectualpower.net.
Yes.
Because I saw it on one of your posts. So yeah, I'm hip.
Yes, sir.
Hip. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
It's for our health, brother. As you know, that's something we didn't cover, but our health is atrocious.
Yeah.
And we need to get back to doing things that heal our people spiritually, mentally, and of course, physically. So I created this that helps with the brain and nervous system, reproductive system, the digestive system, and of course, the immune system. So there are 13 herbs in there that I get from the island of St. Lucia, out of the country. Even the capsules are vegetable fiber. The bottle is glass, not plastic. Everything that is in there, brother, it helps with so many issues that people have been dealing with. So many, including diabetes, including different reproductive issues, including brain fog, memory issues, poor digestion, you name it, nerve problems, sciatica, a lot of you name it. Just go watch the reviews, go read them for yourself. Intellectualpower.net, y'all. This is a solution that I created as a result of people taking the shot. And I knew that down the line, over 5 billion people who took at least one dose of that were going to come down with some of the most horrific health issues. And I couldn't get out here just talking and updating them on here's some more bad news. I had to present a solution that helps with their health overall. And this is one of those things that I believe is truly helping. And according to the reviews and the experiences, it truly is doing that.
Dig it.
So intellectualpower.net, y'all. Hope it helps.
Yes. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Thank you, brother.
My brother.
Yeah,
Thank you. Honored. Not all hood, but still hood.
Yeah.